This may not be Argentina against Spain. This may be Lionel Messi against time itself. Picture the World Cup final on July 19th, 2026, at New York, New Jersey Stadium. On one side stands Spain, younger, sharper, faster, and almost impossible to break down. On the other side stands Argentina, the defending champion, trying to do something no team has done since Brazil in 1958 and 1962, win back-to-back World Cups. But if you ask why the whole world is staring at this match, the answer may not be Spain. It may not even be Argentina. It may be one 39-year-old man, a man whose story was supposed to have reached the perfect ending in 2022, and yet here he is again, walking into another World Cup final, as if the book had already closed, but the entire planet asked him to open one more page. This is the story of Lionel Messi and the 2026 World Cup final, and the biggest question may not be whether he can beat Spain. The real question is this: if this is truly the last time, what final image of Messi will football remember? Argentina reached this final through a match that felt designed to make hearts suffer. In the semifinal, England took the lead. For a while, the game seemed to be drifting toward one of those old English stories: hope, fear, and the terrifying question of whether this time might finally be different. Then Argentina came back. Enzo Fernandez equalized in the 85th minute, and in stoppage time, Lautaro Martinez scored the winner after Messi helped create the moment. Argentina won 2-1. Suddenly, a semifinal was no longer just a semifinal. It became a door opening into something much larger. Spain against Argentina, Europe against South America, a team in full force against a team made of memory, the future against a past that refuses to become only the past. And at the center of it all stands Messi. That is why this final does not feel like a normal final. If Argentina win, it will not simply be another trophy. It will be a second impossible ending. After 2022, many people believed Messi's story was complete. He had won the trophy that had haunted him. He had the image the world would keep. He had the moment that made the legend feel whole. In a normal story, that is where the hero leaves the stage. The camera pulls back, the music rises, fade to black. But real life rarely obeys clean storytelling. 4 years later, he is still here. Not the same player. Not the 25-year-old who moved through defenders as if the world was half a second slower than him. This Messi chooses his moments. He walks more. He waits more. He saves movement for the seconds that matter. And sometimes, simply standing in one piece of grass is enough to make the opponent rethink the entire pitch. That is what makes this version of Messi fascinating. He is no longer beating the game with the same body. He is beating the game with the memory everyone has of him. Defenders do not only see a player waiting for the ball. They see 2006. They see Barcelona. They see 2014. They see Qatar. They see the free kicks, the dribbles, the impossible passes, and all the nights when he destroyed other teams' plans. And because they see all of that, they hesitate. One beat, half a beat, maybe only a fraction of a second. At this level, a fraction of a second can become a goal. But this is not only about skill, it is about time. Because every time Messi touches the ball at this World Cup, people are not only asking what he will do, they are asking whether this might be the last time they see it. Is this the last touch in a World Cup final? The last assist? The last night when he is still the center of the football universe? That feeling turns a match into a farewell ceremony, even when nobody has officially said goodbye. Sometimes fans do not need an announcement. They can feel it in the body, in the slower walk, in the careful breathing, in the choice to run only when the run matters. We know time is moving, and we know it never moves backward. Across from him stands Spain, and that is what sharpens the story. Spain are not here as background characters in a Messi fairy tale. Spain have every reason to destroy that ending. They are strong, they are controlled, they have barely conceded. They can keep the ball until the other team starts to feel trapped inside the match, and they carry the image of the future, especially through Lamine Yamal, the young star who has become a symbol of football's next era. That is almost too perfect for a final chapter, not because Spain are villains, but because Spain represent tomorrow. If this story is Messi against time, then
then Spain are the face of time arriving. Football can be cruel like that. It does not let a legend fight emptiness. It makes the legend fight someone younger, faster, and still full of tomorrows. That is why this final feels both beautiful and painful. Messi does not need to prove that he is great.
That argument ended long ago. What he is trying to prove now is different. Can aging greatness still defeat a world that is moving on? If Spain win, the story is simple and powerful. The future arrived on time. The new generation took the stage. A young team walked past the shadow of a legend. Football moved forward, as it always does. But if Argentina win, the story becomes heavier. It will feel as if time stopped for one night, as if football allowed one man to borrow the perfect ending twice. Not just a World Cup after everyone thought he had already received the best possible ending. That is the kind of story fiction would almost be afraid to write. It would feel too generous. The hero loses in 2014. He suffers again and again. He spends a career being questioned. He finally wins in 2022. Then 4 years later, at 39, he returns to another final. If this were a movie, people might say the script was trying too hard. But football has a strange habit. It sometimes makes the impossible happen on the night when the whole world is watching. There is a darker side to the beauty, though. The more Argentina's story looks like a fairy tale, the more some people resist it. When a team wins often, survives often, and keeps finding late moments, the internet begins to ask uncomfortable questions. Is this greatness or luck? Calmness or destiny? A team that deserves to win, or a story the world wants to end too perfectly? Messi does not control those questions. He does not control referees. He does not control social media. He does not control whether people love Argentina or resent them. But when you become the center of the story, everything gets pulled back toward you. If Argentina win, people call it destiny. If Argentina lose, people call it the end of an era. If Messi makes a simple pass, people call it vision. If he is quiet, people wonder whether time has finally caught him. That is the price of becoming a legend. You are no longer only playing football. You become the language people use to interpret football. And that may be the deepest reason the world is still watching. Not everyone is watching because they love Messi. Some are watching because they want him to win. Some are watching because they want him to lose. Some want Spain to break the fairy tale. Some want the fairy tale to defeat logic one more time. But whatever emotion brings them to the screen, they are all watching the same thing.
A human being standing between a trophy and an hourglass. That is why this final is bigger than one match. It asks a question everyone understands, even if they do not play football. Can we have our greatest moment more than once? Can we climb back to the top after the world has already decided we came down? Can we beat age, expectation, and the ending other people wrote for us? That is why this older Messi may, in one way, be even more compelling than peak Messi. When he was young, we watched because he did things other people could not do. Now we watched because he can still do certain things after time should have taken them away. The first kind of magic is power. The second kind is fragility. And fragility feels closer to us because everyone has their own clock. Everyone has a version of themselves that was faster, braver, fresher. Everyone has a past that sometimes feels like another person. When we watch Messi walk slowly across the pitch now, we are not only watching a footballer grow older, we are watching time work on a human being. And somewhere inside we are asking, if it were us, could we still create one more impossible night? That is the power of great sport. It begins with a ball, but it ends with life. On July 19th, 2026, Spain may win, Argentina may win, Messi may score, he may not score. He may lift the trophy again, or he may walk quietly off the pitch without needing to say anything at all. But whatever happens, the reason the world is watching is clear. We are not only watching a World Cup final, we are not only watching Argentina against Spain, and we are not only watching one man try to win one more game. We are watching someone who once made the world believe in magic stand in front of the one opponent nobody can dribble past forever: time. And maybe if he beats it one more time, even for just one night, football will not only get a champion, it will get to see an impossible ending happen in real time.